So this morning on October 23rd, I tried to get as much as possible of this completed because there was frost on the ground today. So what we've got is, well, I'll just do an overview here. First off, obviously I've created, and this is what we took it from. So I was featuring snapdragons. I've had fantastic snapdragons, some of which, the tall ones, the rocket ones, they come back as, they come back, yeah. I have several that I have had for several years, actually. The little ones, I'm not sure they come back, but they certainly do reseed. But the colors have been spectacular, especially these coral and pinkish ones, and then these red, white, and yellow ones. But anyway, so I knew I wanted to do that, and so I got those, and I kind of centered with an eye towards Buddha, keeping in mind that this whole thing is actually slightly left of center of where I look out the back. So the centering is a little weird, admittedly. I grabbed, one of the first things I grabbed from the front, from the one I put on the other side, was the Gara, which is this one right there. And then I also grabbed, where is it? Oh yeah, this bit of the tricolor sage, which I love so much, along with that beautiful red succulent. And, rocks and rocks and rocks and rocks and rocks, of course. I also moved, I moved a couple of, what did I put one over here. Yeah, there we go. This looks a little pathetic right now. This was a favored hollyhock. Over here I have a favored hollyhock, too. It's this one right there, and that beautiful deep pink is actually left over from that, and I had to kind of build a mound. I didn't have the money to go buy anything, so I found the best dirt I could and moved it. And then I started working on getting all the rest of and I tried to be somewhat symmetrical. And so I put some rockets over here. Here's this great coloring that I just adore. This little thing down here is a funny plant that Dennis brought me. It's an annual. It's probably not going to make it out here, but it might drop some seeds. And I also needed it to hang out on that beautiful ornament's toes to keep it standing up. And that's a gift from Betsy Callahan. These may also drop seeds. I just am not entirely sure what they do. And that yellow is just a humongous one. And I always love yellow next to purple. It's God's favorite color. She really loves them. Today I started getting a little wilder in grabbing things because I was a little more desperate. That's why you see these big holes that I went after, where I just saw things that I couldn't leave behind. I was going to leave behind a mum that was over here, and then I thought, God, it worked so hard to be alive when it had not been alive. So that is over. Where is that, Mom? It's right there, right in front of the duck. It wants to bloom so badly. It's trying so hard. I couldn't just leave it behind. And then I'd been so careful about picking a little bit of the of the woolly thyme and moving it. And today I just nabbed whole freaking chunks. Like this one. I just couldn't leave it. And I just plopped it, you know. It's a very happy to spread itself around. So I just stopped worrying a lot. I also did the same thing with some big chunks of hens and chicks, because I love hens and chicks. And I wasn't nearly as careful as I started out. Like this. I need to get that in the ground a little more. There's some more and some more and some more. And this big chunk of this darling succulent. And so there's a more chunk. This there was no point in doing. It's a zinnia. I don't think they ever, reseed, but I'm not entirely sure. Sorry, what the heck. And what else came over the last? Oh, the most important. I wasn't going to do this. I was going to, and then I wasn't. Then I was going to, then I wasn't. That chunk of whatever dead-looking thing it is was Ava's arose, the one that she was given on the day she was born by the Macri family. I discovered that when Charlie moved into our house to kind of rescue the mortgage, he got tired of it and told somebody to kill it, get it out of the way, because he wouldn't. If you didn't prune it, it would, stick out long, sticky things that you could bump into. And the guy didn't completely kill it. He did take it down to the base. And while I was over there after Charlie died, and I was just gathering flowers and rocks and stuff before somebody came along and did whatever they were going to do with it, when it was complete and utter limbo, I ran into this. It was still there, and I brought it back to the house on Simpson, and I actually got it to bloom, and for a year and a half, it was coming alive. It bloomed, and I brought it over here. We had no time, and I had to bring so much, and I didn't get around to getting it properly in the ground and watered until it was too late. And I feel very, very bad about that. But you have to let it go, and you can't keep dragging a plant around every time you move. And in truth, and now I'm really, the quandary now is I have the most beautiful rose out front. I won't want to leave that, but that's big and developed. This was just, but anyway, it was a sweet story for a bit. And I had to laugh with it because it got all covered with the moss, and he was just like, "Guess what that weird thing is?" And that's what that is. And so I just slammed it over here, and just popped it down. And if any of that survives, great. I do need to put more dirt there, but and then these things I've got a couple of them. I threw those in, and those are possibly a form of evening primrose. I'm not entirely certain. What else do we have that I've moved? I grabbed a chunk from this hole of irises. I have to look at my spring pictures to see what, there was something in here that was absolutely gorgeous. And one of the things I moved was the hollyhock I moved. One of the hollyhocks I moved had a really, really pretty flower to it. It was a bit unique. And so that's been moved as well. And Yeah, but I actually did quite a bit out this morning. I just realized I may not have any more time. Now, if I do tomorrow, then I'll do a little bit more and check out a little bit more over here. Obviously, we have some darling creatures. I grabbed seeds from this, mostly because it's just so, it has a beautiful sheen when it's open. And and this lovely frilly edge that you can see so nicely there. I did get a little bit of this and put some of this over there. That's oh shoot, here I go again. Anyway, it's a gorgeous purple flower, and it's similar to Veronica, and some of this is Veronica, and I hope I got it. This is all Coreopsis, and I got some of this already, and it's in a couple of places over here. You can see these poor zinnias are like, okay, we're done. It got cold. It really did. It was cold. But I have some of that right here, I think is what that is. This over here, this morning I was in the front yard, and I have a lavender plant there that's doing really, really well, but it also, lavenders do tend to start to consume a lot of room, and I don't want it to take over everything that's out there, so I pulled up a chunk, stuck it in some water for a little bit, and then got it into the ground today, and hopefully it might come back. I don't know if it ever responds to the seeds or not. We'll see. Some more of the Coreopsis is right here, right there. And I also came over and threw down a bunch of seeds from, what was it? What was it? I don't know the names of either of them. That's why I can't tell you. So it's some of that. And where's the other one? If you can see any of it. Don't you? If you can see. I can hear a squirrel, I think. Well, we'll just see if something goes by. Never know. Could be a bird. And so the solar light is there, and I'm hoping that works. And the solar Christmas lights there are from our neighbors. They're ones I put in their front railing, but the next person, John, is not interested. Anyway, so here's a little review of everything I've gotten. There's, I'm going to be leaving a little bit of sedum, but I got the most brilliant parts of it. And this is a wonderful plant. It's quite mature. I hate to see it torn down. I can't protect everything, and I don't have enough room for all of it. But it is lovely. And I'm glad I got to experience it. Next year I will work very hard at cutting them back, the ones I have, cutting them back sooner and more frequently, and I'll get more blooms without the height and with less seeds to be concerned about, because God knows they drop. Oh, look, holes. Yeah, I've been at it. And we won't have a vegetable garden. And boy, did the tomatoes go nuts last night with the change in the weather. That was hard on them, clearly. Actually, the best ones we've had have been these cherries. and one of the red ones. I don't know. Do I want to do fried green tomatoes? Beep. I'm sorry. I'm just not. And they weren't that tasty, any of these. But we had a good time with them. I think Dennis overbought, and not everybody had all the room. It would have been nice to give them. The grapes look wonderful. They have a good taste. They have a tiny little seed that makes them a real pain in the tush. So that's the story. Oh, I can just over here. I did stick something in the ground. What did I stick in? Look, it's a sunflower. Silly thing, you're so late. And that is a bit of a, right there is a bit of a hollyhock. Those are too. I don't know if they'll do anything. And I cut this back, and I'll drop zinnia seeds in here next spring. Oh, look at, we're still so pretty, so very, and then the colors along with the Russian sage are just truly, truly wonderful. It's such a pretty thing. Hello. And pretty little pink things. And there's some bulbs that are planted here. Daylily right there, and there's some tulips. And oh look, more of that. And that. And this is my combination of, I think there's two different, no, I guess that's the other one. No, this one I think has both purple and calico, as well as irises. And then my baby, my sweet baby, she's so beautiful. So beautiful. I will miss her whenever we have to go. So I take lots of pictures. She's just beautiful. She cannot help herself. And then this great stuff on the march, boom, boom, boom. This is a rocket snap that's from the one where I was removing everything. Pretty, pretty rocks. And that's also from over there. This is a very cool kind of sage. Blah, wildly pretty. And this is the other kind of evening primrose. And more and chicks in this cute little thing. And I'll just see how it goes, and utilizing my wind chimes a little bit more because we're just not entirely sure how long we can afford to stay here and can keep up the place and find places to put things. There's not a lot of storage, and trying to get rid of things is not always easy. And I'm just grateful I'm getting a chance to have at least one more season. And I got to play with it differently, so there she is. All right. Signing out.